Kamala doing okay?
Nope. She's down, Joe. I think they found out that she's retarded, and now we're basically Trump is killing us at the polls, so yes, we're going to lose Joe.
Damn it. Wait. What if I come back to run again?
As candidate?
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way, Joe. The only person in this world who is even more retarded than Kamala Harris is basically you. So no, Joe,
on, man.
you're
Just
not going
give
back
another
in.
shot.
Let's let it all play out. Okay, we'll talk later, Joe.
Okay.
The Biden crime family may have committed more crimes than we even knew about, and Dr. Fauci may not be off the hook for his crimes after all. So we've got some bombshell news to get to here in a minute. But first, remember when Joe Biden said his administration would not be involved in any preemptive pardons for potential criminals in his administration? Watch.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons, nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, of course, we now know that was a bald-faced lie.
And let's set aside the policy by tweets that he did all weekend. We don't even have time for that.
Right. Yeah, just the policy by tweets thing is like a sideshow to this whole thing. But yes, the preemptive pardons, absolutely. And something that Trump actually didn't do. So it's kind of funny how that's all unfolded, right? So Sunday night, in a jaw-dropping move, President Joe Biden pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, of course, just hours before leaving office. The man who became the face of America's pandemic response now has a blanket pardon, and it goes back years, back to 2014. It's not just for anything recent. Of course, the pardon goes all the way back and covers basically to shield him from any federal charges tied to gain-of-function research and government involvement in the origins of COVID-19. Like, that is the predicate. That's exactly what this pardon is all about. But here's the big kick to the nuts for Fauci. The pardon might not actually save him at all. In fact, according to our friend Paul Thacker, excellent journalist Paul Thacker, just laid out how Fauci could still be brought to justice. Let's break this down. First of all, a presidential pardon only protects you from federal crimes, of course, so states can go after you. A number of states have an appetite to go after Fauci, including Florida specifically. And with Republican lawmakers controlling Congress, Fauci's not off the hook when it comes to investigations. Senator Rand Paul, who's made it his mission to expose Fauci, is already calling foul on this, says he says that that's because Fauci lied under oath, perjuring himself. And that perjury charge won't keep Fauci out of legal hot water. Specifically, here is Senator Paul explaining how Fauci lied and covered it up.
Well, our investigation has confirmed that he did indeed lie. He committed a felony. He said that they did not fund, that the NIH did not fund gain-of-function, dangerous research in China. We now know that to be untrue. We know he committed a felony. But what we've discovered now is that there was a massive cover-up from the very beginning. There was a behind-the-scenes effort to change the opinion of people. Many of the Fauci colleagues all believed that the virus did come from the lab. Their opinions were all changed. But then all evidence was then covered up. They began using burner phones. They began using couriers. They said, we can't do things electronically. I can take things by hand to his house. It sounds more like the CIA than the NIH.
So as Thacker explains, even with the pardon, he can still be dragged into congressional hearings. If he's caught lying again, it could basically spark new legal battles as a result. And let's not forget state-level prosecutions here. Those are very much still on the table for Dr. Fauci. The pardon only addresses COVID-related offenses. Doesn't have anything to do with perjury. It doesn't cover the congressional perjury piece of this, lying before Congress. As Thacker says in his piece, these pardons will not stop Department of Justice investigations, said one advisor to the Trump transition team who spoke on the condition of anonymity. We expected this, and look at it. New revelations revealed today from James Comer on the House Oversight Committee shows that they have uncovered bank accounts linking the Bidens to millions of dollars in now suspicious funds from China, Romania, and Russia, funds that trace back to Joe Biden's tenure as vice president. One of the bombshell findings, a staggering $240,000 in direct wire transfers to Biden himself, with absolutely no explanation for what the money was for.
Wait, this
or why
is new
it was
today?
Yes, and why it was sent. Watch.
Where does this investigation stand?
Well, hopefully we're in the final stages. Today, this morning, I issued a subpoena for targeted financial information from a certain financial institution related to Jim Biden, Sarah Biden, and Hunter Biden. This is a result of many of the documents that Devin Archer turned over. Remember, we subpoenaed and he turned over 3.7 million documents that never before been seen by any of the IRS investigators, the Securities and Exchange investigators, or any of the different groups that have been investigating the Bidens for years and years and years. And we've been able to connect some dots, we believe, that will finally answer pretty much every question we've had about the source of these shady transactions that went into the Biden family members and what role exactly Joe Biden played in that role in his family's shady business dealings.
So you've sent out the subpoena this morning to a major bank?
Yes, that is correct.
And what specifically do you want to know from this bank in terms of these documents that you're looking for to connect those dots?
We believe we found new accounts, and remember, the number of bank accounts that we've discovered over the past year and a half since I've had subpoena power, since the Republicans flipped the House, is unbelievable. I mean, I don't think you would find very many people that have billion-dollar net worth that have as many different bank accounts as this Biden family had. Many of these were shell companies, as you and I have discussed, Maria, companies that sole purpose was to launder the money that the Bidens were receiving from China, from Romania, from Russia, and never one time through the course of this entire investigation, even during the depositions with Hunter Biden and the transcribed interview with Jim Biden, were they able to answer exactly what the family did to receive this money. So we believe we found some more accounts that will answer some more questions, and hopefully we can prepare to close this investigation and present our findings to the American people.
How many bank accounts are associated with Joe Biden?
I mean, Democrats don't care. You could have images of Joe Biden signing contracts in a pile of money that is Chinese yuan, and Democrats won't care. They don't care. They don't.
Well, President Trump has some explaining to do. Why the hell is he getting cozy with Bill Gates? And why the hell is he backing an mRNA vaccine and surveillance project at the White House? A lot to unpack here. So first, on the Bill Gates piece of this story, Gates, easily one of the most evil men on the face of the planet, recently traveled to Mar-a-Lago and had a meeting with Donald Trump. They had a 3-hour dinner, according to Gates, where he says they discussed, quote, global health. Remember, Gates isn't a doctor. He steals software from people and puts his name on it. He was caught having dinners with Jeffrey Epstein. He's not a doctor. Why the hell is he sitting down with President Trump for 3 hours? He makes billions of dollars off of these vaccines pushed on populations around the world, specifically in Africa.
Wait. This dinner happened since the inauguration? This 3-hour dinner?
It happened right before the inauguration.
Yeah. Okay, all right. This is, for whatever reason, an important distinction to me.
Yeah. So remember, Gates isn't a doctor. He makes billions of dollars off of these vaccines pushed on these populations around the world, specifically in Africa, low-income areas, unwitting populations that don't have access to the internet and social media where they can jump on and say, hey, my mom died of this thing that Bill Gates was handing around in our village here.
You're fine.
Then suddenly Trump, after this meeting, Trump suddenly pulls out of the World Health Organization, which I'm all for it, which is the same thing, though, that he did back in 2020. Back then, though, Trump then turned around and gave billions of dollars to Gates through his Gavi Foundation, GAVI, which is Gates Vaccine Alliance, which pushes vaccines in low-income countries, again, all over the continent of Africa. So then today we learned that 2 of RFK Jr.'s picks to head up his vaccine safety board were kicked out. Who kicked them out? RFK Jr. had picked 2 individuals to be a part of his vaccine safety board under the Department of Health and Human Services, which he will invariably head up, it seems. But now they're kicked out. So RFK Jr. chose Stephanie Spear and Aaron Siri to sit on Kennedy's vaccine safety board. They are renowned for their unwavering commitment to revealing the truth about vaccine side effects, particularly the childhood vaccine schedule. So after this meeting with Gates, suddenly the Trump transition team has sidelined these 2 key figures, which focuses on spreading vaccine truth and transparency. Well, according to reports overnight, they were reportedly stripped of their advisory roles because of their positions on vaccine safety. Okay, I have a lot of questions here.
Durante las últimas semanas hemos publicado varios vídeos hablando de, por ejemplo, la enfermedad del dengue, una enfermedad transmitida por el mosquito Aedes aegypti. Y claro, pues yo en esos vídeos me he centrado básicamente en hablarles de la epidemiología, de cómo tratar eficientemente las picaduras del mosquito. Al final del vídeo les pondremos vídeos hablando del dengue. Y muchos de ustedes se quejaban diciendo, oye, ¿por qué no hablas de los mosquitos transgénicos, esos que quieren soltar en el medio ambiente? Además, como que se enfadaban conmigo, como diciendo, oye, hay que hablar de lo que hay que hablar. ¿Qué queréis que hable de eso? Vamos a hablar de eso, porque os va a sorprender mi punto de vista. Conozco bastante bien esta problemática, os la voy a explicar para que sepáis lo que se está haciendo y luego vosotros decidís si es una buena o una mala tecnología. Ya os anticipo de que mi punto de vista es de estupefacción. Yo estoy estupefacto con la sociedad actual porque se está aprobando un sistema que, como os voy a explicar, no está demostrado que sea seguro ni para las personas, ni para el medio ambiente, ni que sea tampoco el sistema más eficaz para controlar enfermedades como, por ejemplo, el dengue. ¿De acuerdo? Pues no me rollo más.
Hola amigos magos, muy buenas tardes. Lunes, día 20 de enero. Donald Trump, protagonista, humillación a von der Leyen y a Zelensky. Vamos a repasar todo lo que ha comentado en el discurso y lo vamos a ver de forma concreta. Como siempre, ese cortejo que se traen entre manos Vladimir Putin y Donald Trump, que a muchos en Occidente les va a molestar y mucho, lo vamos a contar todo en detalle también. ¿Ha estado detrás la CIA de lo que ha ocurrido en Ucrania? Nos trae Alberto una noticia de última hora que vamos a quizá empezar por ella ahora.
En cuanto a la retórica antiamericana o cualquier otra retórica antioccidental, no necesitamos retórica anti alguien en absoluto, siempre es dañina. Pero probablemente seamos, o más bien yo sea, un mal cristiano. Cuando se abofetea una mejilla, hay que poner la otra. Yo todavía no estoy moralmente preparado para eso. Si nos abofetean, debemos responder. De lo contrario, siempre nos abofetean.
Trump, las Fuerzas Armadas rusas eliminaron a 700.000 militantes de las Fuerzas Armadas de Ucrania en la operación militar especial. Son declaraciones de Donald Trump. Lo recoge la publicación Gazeta. Trump, sí mismo, hay que comentar que el jefe del Estado Mayor General de las Fuerzas Armadas rusas, Valery Gerasimov, señaló que desde el inicio de la operación militar especial, las pérdidas totales del ejército ucraniano han ascendido a alrededor de 1 millón de personas entre muertos y heridos. Quedaos con esta cifra. Trump ha hablado de 700.000 militantes ucranianos entre las pérdidas de las Fuerzas Armadas ucranianas. Dale, Alberto.
Utiliza la palabra eliminados. Eliminados no es bajas. Eliminado es eliminado. Ya no está. Si está, no lo has eliminado. Lo has herido, lo has dado de baja, lo que quieras. Eliminados. ¿Y por qué?